Welcome students, I am Nafiza, your social science teacher. In this video, we will discuss the topic contribution of industry to national economy and industrial location. Before we start the topic, let's recapitulate with the points we have covered till now. In the previous video, we have discussed the definition of manufacturing and the importance of manufacturing and how agriculture and industry both move hand in hand. Then have a look at the graph here. This graph shows the three sectors of economy, like in the what is the share of agriculture, services and industry. Like if you see service sector is going on, the GDP share is increasing, whereas agriculture share is going down from 50 to 14. Okay, from 1950 to 2010 GDP share, whereas when it comes to industry, not much different, it is stagnant. So this is our point of discussion today. If you look at industrial share from 1950 to 2010, not much difference, it is we can say very slight difference, and it is its share is nearly 27% in GDP. Now have a look at the statement here. Over the last 2 decades, the share of manufacturing has stagnated at 17% of GDP out of 27% for industry. Did you get this point? I'll show one more bar graph so you will get clarity. So out of 24% of industry my secondary sector, okay, overall share of secondary sector in GDP is 27%. In that 27%, 17% share is from manufacturing, whereas remaining 10% share is from mining, quarrying, electricity and gas. Have a look at this graph. Even this graph we have discussed it before, which clearly shows the GDP, income generation, and then the people involved in that. So if you can see manufacturing, you can see different, like this all comes under secondary sector. Okay, in secondary sector, manufacturing 17%, then construction, mining, quarrying, all this together 10%. So overall 27% from industrial. Or here they are saying this is much lower in comparison to East Asian economies. East Asia, what do we have to the east of Asia? Japan, China, Thailand, Singapore. In almost all these countries, the share in manufacturing is something around 25 to 35%, whereas in India it's only 17%. The trend growth rate in manufacturing over the last decade has been 7% per annum. But whatever they have given the statistics here, these are all something around 2010 or 11 statistics. Now the trend scenario has changed. Since 2003, manufacturing is once again growing at the rate of 9 to 10% per annum. But now due to pandemic, if you look at the present situation, the manufacturing sector has declined. Overall GDP has declined to the lowest level. Even our latest updates in the current affairs, if you go through news channels, the GDP of India has fallen down and manufacturing is much lower now at present situation. Okay, with appropriate policy interventions by the government and renewed efforts by industry to improve productivity, economists predict that manufacturing can achieve its target. Already the government has started the plan like Make in India project. The present government started Make in India project in the year 2014. After taking up the charge, they started Make in India, started giving encouragement to industrial sector, startups, providing cheap loans so that many industries can be set up. Still our economy need to improve a lot. So they have set up a separate council also for it, known as NMCC, National Manufacturing Competitiveness Council, was set up to boost the manufacturing sector in India. Now let's have a look at the next topic. Our important topic is industrial location. Suppose your goal is to become an entrepreneur and you want to set up an industry. Before setting up an industry, what are the things that you consider? Yes, you can guess and tell. During the discussion time you can. Okay, So what are the things we discuss? It's normal. We look at the cost effectiveness, we look at the land, labor, availability of land, raw materials. So all these points are taken into consideration, which they have explained in detail here. So what are the things that we take into consideration? Availability of raw material, then availability of labor, availability of capital in the sense banks should be nearby, only then they'll provide loans to us. If raw material is nearby, it's easy transportation is required. And labor, very important, labor force, without labor force industries can't work. Power, very important thing, power, electricity. In India, a major task for industries. If we get continuous power supply, there won't be any problem in machines to run, because machines need power. Along with the power, they need labor. Along with labor, raw material supply, if it is nearby, easily transported. Then capital, for capital, nearby banks and insurance companies should be nearby so that they can provide easily. And very important thing, market. Once the product is done, it should reach the market. If the industry is near to the market area, then transportation becomes easy. So all these factors are taken into consideration before setting up an industry. So, but is it possible to find all these things at one place? Sometimes it is not possible. Then what to be done? Shall we stop setting up an industry? No. Instead of that, we need to check the most appropriate place where all these factors are available, or it can be arranged at a lower cost. So whatever we go for, the main concern for industrialist and cost. How much cost is it? Okay, if you are taking the raw material from the place of origin to the industry, how much does it cost? If we have to get the labor from other places, how much does it cost? So lower cost, all these calculations should be done, and then a suitable area need to be selected for an industry. And we all know that once industrial activity starts, urbanization follows. Our Hyderabad city is the best example. 10 years back Hyderabad city, 10 or 20 years back Hyderabad city, and present Hyderabad city, you can see how lot of infrastructural development is going on. Clear? So once industry is set up, then what happens? People move towards that area for job, for employment facilities. As we said, industries need banking and insurance facilities. So once people start gathering, then for all the people set, what is required? Again, markets for those people, schools, colleges, educational centers, then recreational centers. So what happens? Slowly urbanization follows. Sometimes industries are located in or near the cities. Even our Hyderabad city surrounding lot many industries we have. We have BHEL, then we have Tarnagar, near Tarnagar one industry, cantonment zones are there. So lot many industries, they try to set up near the cities. Reason? Market is available, then transport facilities are easy, lot of labor facilities available, banking, insurance is available, they'll get access to that easily. So that many people prefer to set up industries near the cities. Thus, industrialization and urbanization go hand in hand. Cities provide markets and also provide services such as banking, insurance, transport, labor, consultants, financial advice. All these things are easily available near the cities. So that's the reason why the industries prefer to be set up near the, or in the, not in the city actually, because it's pollution, it should be pollution free. So near the city, surrounding areas of the city, they prefer to set up the industries. Many industries tend to come together to make the advantages offered by the urban centers. Urban areas, as we have said, urban areas, cities, we can find lot many benefits like banking, insurance, transport, labor, consultant, financial advisors. All these are available near the urban center cities. So industries are set up, and this is known as agglomeration economies also. Let me say the definition. Okay. Agglomeration economy in the sense, a localized economy in which large number of companies, services, industries exist in close proximity, means nearly. All these exist nearly and they are dependent on one another, and its cost reductions and gains also means they'll get benefits from each other. Agglomeration economies in the sense different economic sectors coming together like banking, insurance, transport, all these coming together are consultants, financial advice, all these are staying together and helping each other and developing. All together they are developing. Suppose if you take industry, so they need loan from the bank. If bank gives loan to it, in turn bank get the interest, bank will get benefit. Then transport moving here and there, then transport will develop naturally, they will improve. Then nearby, suppose a shopping complex or shopping mall has come, furniture purchase and all setting up of things becomes easy. So what happens, each industry or each economic sector, it can be transport, it can be insurance, banking, shopping mall, or consultants, like security guards are required. For them a separate company will develop. Yes, for the labor, separate schools and colleges will develop, educational institutions, then administrative will be developed. So helping each other and growing together. Let me show you a picture. Have a look at the picture. What does it show? A industry is set up. For that what happened? Transport need to be developed. Then banking and insurance has to develop. Power supply is required. Human power is required. All these what happens? They help each other. Here not only industry will develop, along with industry, the nearby areas also will develop, nearby shopping complexes will develop, banking sector will develop, the people working under that will develop. So helping each other. And so you can have a look at this picture also. So individually, like suppose this is banking, this is transport, then shopping mall, or auto drivers, or schools, or hospitals, all individually they are all different. All those things are coming together, forming a helping each other, leading to agglomeration. Have a look at the India map here. If you can see, it's something around 16th and 17th century, like colonialization time. Okay, during that colonial period, you can see lot many trading centers were near the coastal areas. Can you observe here? Lot many trading centers were near the industrial location is also near the coastal areas. So in the pre-independence India, most of the manufacturing units were located near the coastal areas, overseas trade for the purpose of easy export, like Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, etc. But as the time has passed on, as the technology has developed, transport has developed, then what happened? Industry started developing near the urban centers, surrounded by huge agricultural rural hinterland, not just near the coastal areas, even interior land also people started setting up the industries. Okay, through this flow chart, let's see how industry and market linkage goes on. So what are the inputs? Input in the sense the things which we take in, like computer you say na input device. How we are going to enter data into the system. Took 3 keyboard, mouse, these are the input devices. Then output, after processing whatever output we are getting, like it can be printer, we'll take the printout. Through monitor we'll see the screen, computer you have studied. In the same way, even for industries also, input and output is there. What is the input for industry? It is raw material, and it is factors of production like land, labor, and capital in the sense amount invested in the setting up of industry, entrepreneur, businessman, and infrastructure like machines, fan, light, table, benches, all this comes under infrastructure. These are all inputs for an industry. Okay, once industry is ready with its inputs, it's ready with labor, ready with raw material, ready with machine, then what happens? Processing starts. Processing in the sense manufacturing work starts. And how this all these inputs reach the industry, reach the factory through with the help of a transport, it reach a factory. So in the factory, manufacturing is done, in the sense the process work is done. Once the processing is done, then what do we call it as? Output. The final product is the output. And what we'll do, this output will be transported to the market. Then in the market, after selling the product, money is being generated. Okay, so money is generated here. Now the same money, whatever money got, what they'll do, little for purposes, salaries and all, again same thing is being invested into the industry in the way of input. This is the flow chart how industry works. First input is required for the factory or industry, then processing will be done. Once final product comes out through output, then that will be sold in the market. Whatever income is generated, that is again again it will be invested in the industry for further processing. So the key decision, very important thing that decides the factory location is the cost, and then government policies and specialized labor. These influence the location of the policy. Like when it comes to government policy is also very important. One thing is location, then availability of raw material, labor, all these are required. At the same time, government policy is also very much important. Like recent report says that Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, these two states are the top of 28 states in India in ease of doing business. In the sense, government has given lot many facilities for the industries to set up, in the way of providing the infrastructure, in the way of providing license, availability of electricity. So all these government policies also are very much important to choose the location of a place for setting up a industry. Here you can see one more flow chart which shows what is ideal. In what way we can decide the ideal location for an industry. What do we need? One is cost of obtaining raw material at site. If raw material site is nearby, obtaining it is very easy. If it is far off, what is the cost? Then cost of production at site. How much infrastructure is required, how many labor is required, how the electricity is proper or not. Then production co-on also, all this cost of production also matters. Then cost of distribution of production. Once the production is done, again should reach the market. How the production, once the output reaching the market, what is the cost involved in that? All these things will decide the location of factory. Hope you have understood. So today's video we have covered contribution of manufacturing to economy and industrial location. If you have any further queries, you can message me. Thank you.